and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. We are so excited for an SOS episode. We have a very special guest this is real stories from real people coming onto the podcast, and we're going to talk it out, right?
Yeah.
So we're very excited to have our listener, a new friend, Rob. Thanks for coming on.
Hello. Welcome straight from your car. I'm excited. It's our first. I think this is our first recording with someone in a car.
Right. I was saying when he came on, it felt like I was watching someone's TikTok about to do a food review. Like it's like those car food people. You get those?
It does. Where are you going? Where are you headed? Why are you in a car? Is that where you live?
You have a lot of questions.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm a teacher, which I'm sure Jared's a huge fan of.
What do you teach?
My eyes.
I'm a special ed history teacher.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the worst kind. No, I'm kidding.
That's amazing. Okay.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Hey, but I had a speech therapist, so I'm sure I'm really just Jared's favorite over here.
Speech pathologist.
Yeah, no, I know nothing about history, so we're really just learning while the kids are learning as well. So I'm more of an English major, just kind of hanging out with the kids.
Where are you? What part of the country?
So I live in Mass, about an hour away from Boston.
Amazing. And so you're teaching
How old are
outside
you?
of Mass. How old are you? Yeah.
I'm 28.
So you wrote in. We
Yep.
have the timeline of events. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. This email was written so like such a man. Like it's the thoughts are organized in such a masculine way.
I like that.
Did you agree?
I was like, great email.
It's like, what is that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City thing? Like receipts, timeline, whatever. Like
He had it all.
He's got it all.
So tell us about this email, Jordan. You want to read up to like?
Well, why don't you give us a little background generally on your dating life? Let's do it that way. I think that'll be.
All right, yeah. So I guess like my background in dating life. In high school, I started dating a girl from freshman year, and then we broke up my senior year of college. So that's like 8 years right there. And then so that took me to 2017, and then just kind of dated around for a little bit. Was on the apps and all the fun stuff. Met people at bars and what have you, and then I met the real person I'm kind of emailing about today, right before COVID. Like it was St. Patty's Day. COVID was like about to shut everything down, and then met her through a friend of a friend, and just kind of like started texting throughout COVID. There's really nothing else to do through during COVID, so we texted, and then that's kind of like my background in dating.
Okay. So we'll read your timeline then from there. So 2020, You start dating this girl in COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. 2022, February, you move to Washington for work.
Yeah.
So when you started dating in 2020, what was that? You do like the distance dates. You're doing all the things that are happening during COVID for people that are getting to know each other.
Yes and no. I was just really just trying to do everything I can to give her a reason to text me. Like I became an ordained minister just to give a reason to talk. Like,
Oh wait, hold on. That's why. What made that a reason for her to talk to you?
She says, "I only date ordained ministers."
I got a friend getting married. Oh, I know something about that. Yeah, like
it was just something to do. Like, it was like, if the conversation was getting dry, I was like, what can I do to like get this conversation going again?
Why was it
it's
so?
2020. I get it.
I get that, but why was this person so important to you to like get to know? Like what? Because it feels a little bit like, she feels a little bit like your chase a little bit,
It probably was a little bit of that. It was probably a little bit of more me chasing her, and like I think that kind of drove me at that point.
Had you met her in person during this period? Or was this like
we met right before COVID shut things down. Party. And so just the connection at the party was like, for I believe both of us, definitely probably for me more a little bit, was just pretty strong. And there was just like something about her that I knew I cared about her. I knew I liked.
I bet this is heightened. Sorry to interrupt. I bet this is heightened by the fact that there's COVID that starts right after that, because you kind of like are like, oh, I can't really meet anyone in person yet. I'm kind of clinging to this last person that I've met
Right.
in person.
And there's also like built-in excuses of like, hey, are we hanging next week? Well, you can't really, there's no next plan. There's just next conversations, next getting to know you. And there's like, I guess the expectation of like, we need to hang out to make sure this is going forward isn't
Right.
there. So when you move in 2022, where are you in this relationship with her? Like, what would you guys describe yourselves
COVID is
as?
over.
Yeah.
Ish.
So we started dating. We were like officially dating in I think that August of 2020.
So officially dating, you're together.
We're together. You know, we have the whole like Facebook official. You know, kind of.
Wow. Facebook official at 28?
It's crazy. You
thing?
guys are
Okay,
like
yeah.
152.
Rob, did you ask her to be in a Facebook relationship? Because that would actually, to be totally honest, freak me out.
Did you ask? Yeah. Did you ask for it?
Yeah, I asked her.
All right, I'm beginning to see the issue here. Okay. Go on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry. Continue.
So we're dating for a year come 2021, right? I didn't put this in the email just because there's so many random different like pieces of a puzzle. But I am traveling a lot for work with coaching football. I leave every other weekend. And I think that's starting to get tough on her, as well as some family that are going on for me. And so I get back from one of my flights, and like we break up for like 48 hours. Her reasoning is just like there's too much going on. But I think, like we both kind of like chill out a little bit, calm down. You know, I'm apologizing for being on the road so much. And I'm like, because I'm also a football coach as well. So I'm like, the season's almost done. Like we can work through it. And so we get back together. And so then we bring us to the February when I moved to Washington State.
So, but I guess I don't understand. Like you guys are back together now. And you're like, goodbye, I'm moving to Washington State. I understand like a job opportunity came up, but is there no talk of her going with you? Is that, to me, how does that happen?
Yeah. So the job opportunity in Washington was for a football team. Mm-hmm. So the plan was to move out to Washington for 3 to 4 months and then be done with the team after that. It was like
temporary.
My plan. Yeah, it was a temporary leave, and she thought it would show. Her job is she can kind of move around a little bit too, so she looked into going out there, but by the time she got her licenses exchanged over there, it just didn't make any sense for her, and I think we like both kind of agreed upon that, and so. Yeah, and like I said, it was supposed to be like a 3 to 4 month thing out in Washington, and then I kind of planned on being done with coaching. So I was coaching arena football, which like different football seasons than the NFL. So the plan was to be done with coaching arena football at that point.
So you get the job ends up not working out, and you come back earlier than anticipated. So you come back in March. And then in April, she basically says, this is over.
Yeah. So I come back in March. Again, I have like more family things going on. I come back. I don't have a job because, I quit everything thinking I was going to be gone for 4 months. I don't really have a spot that I can call home. I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit. So I definitely like understand why. Like,
well, where were you living? When you came back, you're not living anywhere?
I'm like bouncing around, like whether it be like my grandmother's, whether it be my mom's basement, a friend's kind of thing. So like definitely like
all things that make women wet.
Yeah, exactly. And so I understood that, but like I also think at that point, like as someone who was with me for 2 years could understand, like I'm gonna bounce back on my feet.
Temporary, right?
I'm not someone who's just gonna hang out and like.
Right. I mean, if she's with you for 2 years, she could offer to stay with her, too.
Well, she lives with her parents as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Maybe not then. Okay. So she breaks up with you, and she says it's because what?
Because of the distance.
even though you're back.
Yes. So we live about an hour away from each other, but my plan was, or our plan was, supposedly at the time, was when I came back in August, if the job worked out and I stayed there until August and I came back, we were going to move in together. And so I was like, well, like, once I get back on my feet, we can still make that plan happen. And her response was, well, I'm not sure if I want to move in with you, and you being too far away doesn't make me know if I want to move in with you. So let's just end it now.
I can understand, not to take the other side on this,
You're
but
taking the wrong side, Jared.
I'm sorry.
Well,
But at the time, if someone's like moving from place to place, from grandma's basement to mom's closet to wherever, and then like you're expected to like have this normalcy and see what you are as a relationship, and then go, I can understand where you're like, what are we doing here?
Right.
And I'm living at home, and I'm like, I'm not even setting the ground here. So like my life is.
We need to each get our shit together.
Maybe, there's some shit together to be done on each end. I would understand that.
Rob, can I ask about the dynamics of the relationship? Is she always holding back a little bit in this relationship? Do you feel like she's kind of like, you're not really ever sure that you fully have her? Or does that not ring true?
I think there are definitely some times like there I feel like I don't know completely like the full story. Even with like the whole breakup, like I never really completely understood it,
That didn't feel like the real reason to you.
Exactly.
Right.
There felt like more.
Okay.
But I just like, you can only ask so many times, and like I definitely try to like talk to
Right.
like what's going on, but
So this thing where you're like chasing her, that kind of feels like a running sort of way about you guys a little
to an
bit.
extent,
From what I'm okay.
So the breakup happens in April. You don't get a really good reason other than distance, even though you guys just did distance from across the country. And an hour's now too much. She says, I'm out. Now, from April 2022, that's no communication. You guys are broken up.
Yeah, so no communication. Like her family still followed me on social media. Her siblings still followed me on social media. Her mom would like react to like stories, but there was nothing directly between her and I. She had removed me on all social media besides like our business accounts.
Right. That's weird that her mom kept reacting to your stories.
Right.
I'd be like, Mom.
Enough. Well, she doesn't even see it. She's not even connected to him. She probably doesn't even know. But so during this time, you get a new job, you find a new place, and you're dating.
Yeah, like I'm landing back on my feet. I got back at the school that I was teaching at before. I got a new coaching job. I'm dating, but not really finding anything that I'm overly like interested in. And
but
when
you're out there.
I'm out there. Like I'm on the apps.
Okay.
And when I did find someone that I was interested in, it didn't work out for them, kind of thing. So like it wasn't like I was only chasing and I couldn't find anything I wanted.
Right.
Okay.
A normal dating life. And then May 2023, this past May.
What happens?
What happens?
So leading up to, like maybe like that December of like 2022 to May of 2023, like she might like one of my business account posts on like Instagram stories. Right. And so then like I would send that to my friends, and like my friends would be like, oh, she's just trying to keep it professional.
Well, what is the business? Like, is she a customer or
a customer of what? Isn't he a coach?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, professional. She doesn't have to like you doing tackling drills.
Your friends don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. She's trying to keep it professional. So she's liking your LinkedIn posts.
Well, so that's what's the funny part. So then come May for my birthday, I'm a Gemini, whatever.
We can do the dating profile later.
Yeah.
All right, cool. She messages me on LinkedIn saying happy birthday.
Just a happy birthday? Is there an exclamation point?
Yeah, what was the full message?
I think it was just like an HBD.
Oh.
HBD?
I hate this girl. Okay.
What is she, an LL Bean backpack?
HBD?
What's going on here? HBD?
HBD? No.
Yeah.
To your ex Facebook official boyfriend?
On a message? That's not even a
HBD?
tag. That's all it said. It just said HBD.
This woman has communication issues.
I said maybe there was a cake emoji.
HBD is
Jordana, what do we think of this?
comicked out by the HBD.
Well, that's like this plays into like kind of what you're the theme here of like
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little tidbit.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
She's like fucking with him. It's annoying me.
That's an annoying. You can't come back after a year with a couple likes.
If a guy did that to me, I would do the same thing as you. I'd screenshot it. I'd send it to every single person I know. I'd be like, look, he's still obsessed with me. And then I would be like, what kind of a way is that to communicate? HBD on LinkedIn?
It's too vague. It doesn't really.
She's trying to not take any vulnerability or anything. All right, sorry. Continue. So what did you respond?
No, I didn't. I was trying to be like strong, independent woman.
Okay, good for you.
No. But yeah, but I sent it in the group chat with the same friends, and it's just hilarious because like they keep saying like she's just trying to keep it professional, and then we're now hitting each other on LinkedIn, which he has my
professional.
That's the wrong.
This is unprofessional.
Okay, fast forward.
So fast forward probably like October of this year. Now it's her birthday. I didn't wish her happy birthday though.
Good for you.
Right? Thank you.
Fuck her birthday.
Yeah.
Take my power back.
Right.
But like, I might have accidentally looked at her TikTok.
People can know when you look at their TikTok?
So this is something that you wrote in your email. People
is
can.
Is that a thing?
Candace just not.
I'm having a little bit of a panic attack. If that's the case.
I have had instances. I think I talked
How do you
about
know
this
if
on this
someone looks at your
podcast.
TikTok?
I've never noticed when someone looked. Here's what happens.
Where would you even see it?
Jared,
here's what you.
Looking at your TikTok like every second. Like you don't know who's looking at your TikTok.
That's what I'm saying. How do you know?
Well, I guess I have gotten the notification that I've sent a link to someone, and you can see when they've looked at the link you've sent them. That I've gotten. What's that?
That's like DMs. Like
No. This is like it literally says, Jordana just watched the TikTok you sent her.
But I had to have sent you a link?
If I even texted you a link. It's very weird.
Oh.
I also had, and I talked about this on the podcast a few months ago.
That's shady TikTok.
No, everything China does is cool and wonderful. No, but like there was a woman that I used to date that sent me a text like, hey, did you just follow me on TikTok? And I swear I was like, I hadn't. And I was like, maybe that's, and I thought of your email when you sent it in, like the idea that like maybe she saw that I saw her video. I don't know, but there are things that happen like this on TikTok. Candace, what?
TikTok has a few different notifications. You can turn that off, by the way, of the like when you send somebody a link. I did. Because that's creepy.
It's weird.
But yeah, it tells you like even if I sent you a link and then you sent it to Jared, then I'd get a notification that Jared watched the TikTok that I sent.
So if you sent me a link, I sent it to Jared. It's like tracking the link.
Yeah, there's like it's like there's like a UTM attached to it. So
even over text,
I've definitely done
you can
something
turn that off in your
embarrassing
privacy
now.
settings. But also for like what Rob was saying too, they added in like someone viewed your profile.
Oh my God.
Which is also automatically turned on unless you go turn it off in your privacy settings.
I'm going to need you to look at my privacy settings after this and please.
Me too.
There are a
make
few
it
different
secure.
ways that TikTok might alert somebody that you might not be aware of.
Okay.
To me, this is how China's taking down the U.S. Like they want
it's
us
like
all
the
to
Snapchat
just,
best friends. Remember that feature?
I wrote a whole article about Snapchat best friends is going to be why we all get divorced. Right. It's this is
horrific feature.
Horrific. So you come up as watching one of her TikToks, which to me
you could ignore that.
Is totally normal.
Yeah,
and like
it could also have just come up on your algorithm.
Right. It could have been on the For You page,
Right.
It doesn't say viewed video. It says viewed profile.
Okay. Oh, my God.
This gets worse.
China.
Okay. All right, whatever. You looked at her profile. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, but like on the list of things wrong, let's let Rob to let you off the hook. Like that is a completely normal
thing.
Year out of a relationship, curiosity. You should not be embarrassed of that. That should not even be a signal that you're like pining for her.
I agree.
Like that.
It's the lowest form of
like
interest.
Right, I agree. So
Okay.
so she texts you, I saw that you looked at my profile.
No, she follow requested me on Instagram,
Okay.
Okay.
and so
How
I
soon after you were looking at her profile did the follow request come?
like 30 minutes.
Oy, your
Okay.
heart must have dropped.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Okay. You're like, she's
You're
back.
looking around for
She's-
cameras.
She's back, baby.
That's
All
right.
Obviously, like I make her wait a little bit, but then I accept it.
40 seconds.
Exactly. So I give the follow request back. She follow like we both follow each other, whatever. And then I think like the next week she liked one of my stories, and I was just like having a day, and so I finally was like I messaged her and I was like, "What are we doing here? Like, why are you following me? Why are you like my stories?" And she responded back with, "Well, if you're gonna look at my TikTok, I thought I might as well give you the opportunity to fully view my profile."
Okay.
And this is
Like-
flirty talk. This is not.
Yeah.
This isn't. There's Jordana, right? This
Yeah.
is. There's
This
so
is-
much layers here.
Yeah. Unspoken layers.
Right.
But no, but she's not really owning to anything.
Anything.
Right. Which is why she's annoying me. All right. So let's move. Okay. So you guys follow each other, and then what happens?
So now we're in like November, December, right? And so
December, according to your timeline.
All right,
You're very well written mail time.
thank you. So I start doing a fundraiser. I'm running the Boston Marathon this year, and so I have to raise money. And so one of the fundraisers that was suggested is like for people to sponsor a mile. And so like you kind of like put up a bingo sheet, and every mile has its name, and then you like people will Venmo you money for that mile, and then you kind of give them a shout out on social media. And so those who like
I
aren't
like
familiar,
this idea.
it was a very good idea. It
Of
was-
the ways that marathon training and
Yeah. Make it
Yeah.
make it fun,
fundraisers have
group
been
thing.
annoying, this is the least annoying of the fundraisers I've heard of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one of the miles, for those who don't know about like the Boston Marathon, is Heartbreak Hill. And so I did Heartbreak Hill. You had to double.
Apt title.
I-
How's it going? Okay.
Yeah. So you had to double the amount of money that you had to sponsor that mile. And so
For those that don't know, Heartbreak Hill, the hardest part of the Boston Marathon, it's where it's the last 6 miles is from the top of Heartbreak Hill into Boston. People get to the top, they like give the finger to the hill. Like it's like a huge
Okay.
moment in the marathon. A lot of people go and set up camp there. It's Patriots Day, so it's a off day from work that only is celebrated
Oh,
in the
wow.
Boston
You
area.
get off for the Boston Marathon.
Right. So
Wow.
it's like a big party day as well. So
Okay.
this is like it's basically pre St. Patrick's Day in Massachusetts if I'm to give it a little bit more explanation here. Right, Rob?
Yeah, no, 100%. I've never been to the Boston Marathon, but everybody celebrates it. Everyone, like, I'm sure, like, my players are going to go to it. I know colleges
Yeah.
go to it. They, like, take bands to it. So it's going to be pretty crazy there. I'm sure, like, it's a huge party.
Okay, so
but-
there's this fundraiser for what is the relevancy to her then for this?
So
Hill.
I get back from my run. I look at my phone, and she has sponsored Heartbreak Hill. So
The most expensive mile on the bingo chart?
on the bingo chart,
How much?
It was $50.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. So I start laughing. I send the screenshot to all the group chats, and like I think that's hilarious. Like it's a great idea. And so now I have to give her a shout out on social media, right? Because I did to everybody else. And so like I think the caption was like, I expected no one else to sponsor this mile than you. And so that kind of got the conversations going. And then kind of fast forward, like, so part of that fundraiser was I gave everybody a keychain for sponsoring the mile, right? And so she was messaging me one night, and I was like, well, I do have to go out to your area to drop off the keychain. And she's like, well, if you're in the area, do you want to get like dinner? And I was like, my plan was I was going to drop off the keychain and then I'm going to get dinner. If you're at the same spot, then we're both at the same spot.
Okay, so you went to great lengths to make sure you knew that you were not taking her to dinner. I'm gonna eat here if you show up, and we'll eat together.
I'll put a bowl of food on the floor
If
you happen to eat from it.
All right, so you get dinner.
So we get dinner.
Did you pay?
She offered to pay.
Okay.
I'm keeping my power. And so I offered to pay as well, try to be a gentleman, but she's like, no, like you drove all the way. It's an hour drive. She's like, I'll pay for this. I'm like, okay.
So you split the meal. What's the conversation at the meal?
It's just like now we're talking about running and like because she's starting to run, and then we kind of talk about like family.
You don't talk about the breakup.
We don't really talk about the breakup. We actually don't talk about the breakup at all. I think I made a joke about it, but one of her sisters, they did like a 2024 what's gonna happen, and one of her sisters wrote she's gonna find a new boyfriend this year, and then her little sister wrote she's gonna break up with that boyfriend and get married to me.
Okay.
She said this at the dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, when do you speak up?
Yeah.
Listen,
you not
we can
said anything?
I'm
here?
annoyed at her, but like at the same time, like you've made the joke about having power in this, but you've never exerted that power. Like you do have a right to say what's going on.
Why are you
reaching
messaging
out?
me?
Right.
Why did you want to get dinner?
Why did
you
say
want to
that?
get dinner? Should have been
Right.
one of the first questions you asked at dinner.
I did ask that question prior to dinner, and her response was, I'm just like seeing friendships. I don't want to inflate anything. I'm like, all
I'm
right.
seeing friendships.
Like, I'm trying to see if there's a friendship here. Like, I don't want to.
And you still wanted to go?
Well, I had to drop off the keychain.
Well, these are the rules, Jordana.
Okay.
Come on, we're raising money for him. He can't run if he doesn't give the keychain.
Okay. All right, fine. Okay, so she said she wants a friendship. Is basically what she said in the before you went out.
Yes, and
I'd let her pay too. Okay.
Right. Your food's on the floor. It's in the dog bowl.
All right. So how does this end?
So then she's like, I'm actually going to your city this next weekend, and like I'm going to a concert, whatever, if you want to go with me. And I'm like, sure. So we're messaging throughout the week, and I'm like,
Rob, can I
what?
ask you, when you're doing all this, is your mindset like I'm down to be friends with her? Or is it like I'm hoping this leads to something more sexual or relationship-y?
Like, I think that's like kind of like one of the reasons why I'm calling in or doing all this is because like
Right.
part of me is like I want to see if this could go back, but also at the other part of me is like, what am I doing? Like
Right.
if we're doing this for friendships, like I have friends. Like I'm not a loser.
So you're
like,
not interested in a friendship.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's totally okay to say you're not interested in a friendship.
Yeah, like
Yeah. It's also okay to say I am looking for a friendship, but you have to already have shed all that other stuff because you can't like play the game of like, well, if she likes me, then I'm into her, because that'll get you nowhere. That'll get you chasing.
Right.
Yeah. And so
You know-
so she wrote
Sorry.
me,
So she says I'm going to be in your town if you want to
Yeah.
do something.
do you want to come to the concert with us? But prior to the concert, she wrote me a letter. And
Right.
But-
Talk about this letter.
yeah. So it was like a novel.
When did you receive it? How
Was
many?
it a handwritten
this week, right?
letter?
No, it wasn't handwritten. It was typed. Yes, it was like Thursday. Like
Like mailed to you in your mail?
no, it was PDF. It was a email. We're
It
keeping
was an
She
attachment
converted
to an
it
email.
to a PDF?
yes, we're keeping it professional.
She converted
So wait, she had
Letter?
an email with an attachment in the email?
Yeah.
She wrote it in Microsoft Word and then she converted it to a PDF just to make sure there were no edits.
What did she?
And that's
What did she word? They're gonna write back. You are
red
star.
line. Sorry. Okay.
Correction. Come
All
on. What the fuck is this?
All right, so she sends you the certified PDF via DocuSign. And and what does the letter say?
It's pretty much just saying like how she's regretted like breaking up, and that like we were a really good relationship, and that she did love me or does love me and loves our memories, and like she's like, if you've read this far, like I guess my only question is, can we be friends? And I'm like,
What?
That's not the ending I expected.
That doesn't make any sense.
can we at least be friends? And so like
Or okay, so she's saying like I would get back together, or like if not that, then I'd love to be your friend.
yeah, kind of idea is what I'm getting out of it, but she still isn't saying those words. So again, like that kind of like layered, like she's just not coming out right and saying what's going on. So she calls me later that night, and like we're doing 20 minutes of small talk, and I'm like, just get to what we're trying to get to right now. And she eventually goes like, I don't want to jump ahead too much, but like if we can be friends, do you think we could be more? Like, do you think we can get back to where we were before?
Okay.
Rob.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm with her. All right.
my response
Okay. Sorry. Go on.
my response is just like, I don't know. Like I don't know that far ahead. I guess I'm not 100% against it, but I'm not like gonna sit here and say yes, because like you've already burned me twice. Like,
Okay.
you know, like it took me a while just to kind of bounce back from like, you know, getting broken
Well,
up with.
Did you ask her what's different from when she broke up with you? Like what's changed from the way she felt then to what she feels now? Like what's different?
She said that she had less control of what was going on in her life back then. And now she feels like she's in more control of like everything now. And so her reaction to having no control then was taking control of the only thing that she could have control of, which was us.
I mean, that's what I was talking about before with like him moving around, her living in her parents' place. Does she live on her own now?
No, she still lives with her parents, but
Still lives with her parent. What's her job like? Is it solid?
yeah, she just opened up her like own like spot, so like I think she's like on a high right now. She's like really proud of herself, which she should be.
Okay. Okay.
So what happens after this letter?
So I go to the concert.
You go. Okay.
Clearly. And so it's awkward. Her cousin's there, her friends are there, and
Are
so,
they cool to you?
They're like, I think they're nice, but you just have to laugh through the awkwardness. Like I shake their hands and I just start laughing because like
You
what else?
shook her cousin's hand?
Well, I'm not gonna slap them. Like what am I?
A hug?
hug?
It's not
I mean,
slap or
that's
shake.
That goes with the PDF.
Right.
PDF is a handshake.
Per our email.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
Okay. It just feels a little formal. Like, I don't know. Okay, go on. I have opinions. I'm forming a prognosis here.
Yeah.
Do you hug somebody you haven't seen in 2 years? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly
Yes.
when you would hug someone.
That's how I go through the awkward.
Yes.
Bring it in here. Hey.
In case you forgot Rob.
Right.
It's Rob.
Cousin Lisa, give it to me. I don't know.
Like it's a guy. I feel like a guy shaking a guy's hand. Like maybe
Hey, cousin Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the half handshake, half hug.
Okay, fair. Okay, for next time, next cousin.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
What about the sister? You said the sister was there too?
No, just a friend, like her friends.
Did the friend, were they nice to you? Did you hug them?
No, we just like gave the awkward hello, and like then I laughed.
Okay.
And so nothing's really happened, and then I made a guarantee to my teaching friends that I wasn't gonna ask her to see her this weekend. Oh, she's also bought a ticket to my next fundraiser, so that's part of the whole process.
This chick's keeping everything afloat.
Yeah. All right. Well, I understand the mixed signals here.
No, you're getting mixed signals. I agree.
And so I said, I'm not going to ask her to see her this weekend. If she asks me to see her this weekend, we'll see what happens. And so last night I'm talking to her. I'm like, you know, I want to treat myself this weekend. The best way to treat yourself is with food. And I'm like, I don't know if I want like nachos or Alfredo. And she's like, you know, she talks about these like nachos that are near her. They're really good nachos. And she's like, well, if you want to come over here for these nachos, like, you know, we can get dinner reservations. And so I'm not going to turn down the nachos.
Well, what did you say to her when she sent you the letter?
So I was asleep when she emailed it.
I don't mean like the second you like after.
What like my response?
Have you
was-
addressed the letter with her?
Yeah, I eventually did. And I think I was like, I think I just responded back to the question of like, can we at least be friends? And I think I just said like, yeah, we can be friends. Like I was like, I don't have any hate towards you. Like I
Well,
only have positive things about you as a person.
Rob, I'm
Like,
sorry to interrupt. You
yeah,
going
no,
to the concert was an agreement to her contract of we can try and be friends.
yes.
Because she says, I would like
Well,
to go to the concert. Could we be friends and
and then he
maybe
said, yes,
something more?
I think
So
him
then
saying, yes, we can be
Well,
friends was an agreement.
that is, but also going is like, it doesn't matter. To me, can I, can I give an opinion?
Well, yeah. Are you done?
Rob, is this everything?
Is that the whole story?
This is the whole story. You guys are all
That's the whole story.
Okay.
I think you two are not a good match
Why do you think that?
because it's two people who are looking for the other person to lead.
Right.
Like, this woman
point.
is telling you, please tell me you need me, give me a direction, and I need to say yes or no to it. And you're kind of like waiting on her to do that too because you're upset from the breakup because she's the last one to make a hard and true decision. She's the last one. That breakup was the last time you two had a real, honest, definitive conversation. So you're like, well, it's your turn. If you're definitive then, now you have to be definitive to come back to me. But you're kind of lingering around this. Like, I can't really... She's being vague,
Right.
but like you're meeting her vagueness with more vagueness.
Yeah, you're being almost vaguer. Like, what do you? I think the whole point here is like, what do you want?
I think, like, you're 100% right. Like, because before I was the one that was like fully out there. Like, I'm in love with this girl. Told my grandmother like this is the one kind of thing.
Right.
Like she was on all my stories.
And you got hurt by it.
Exactly.
And then she ends it, and she ends it with no good reason, but that's a good reason not to end it, is I don't really have a good reason to go forward, which means
Sure.
I can't go forward at all. Fine. That's a reason. So then I can understand you felt hurt by that. The last time you were open and ready to go, you got your heart broken. That sucks, and that's okay.
Right.
But I think I don't
should
think
say that.
you should. Yeah, I think you got to say
To
that
her.
to
I mean,
her,
she's
right.
gonna find out when she listens to this. But if I were you, that's what I would say to her. Because what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And also, like, you guys both kind of. Actually, I was gonna say she sucks at communicating, but that letter was like sounds like it was a pretty clear communication of like. First, she was doing this like dance around HBD LinkedIn message shit. And then even she towards the end is like, I'm laying my cards out on the table. I would like to get back together. Sounds like she was saying.
Well, I mean, to me, it sounds like I would disagree just because it sounds like she's going, will you take, she's basically trying to like make sure she doesn't get her heart broken too. She's
Right.
going, I'll be friends or maybe something more. And it's like, she's given no real direction other than,
She's letting it, right. She's also trying to protect herself from being rejected by
Right.
saying, I'm cool with this or that, whatever you want to do. No one's saying clearly, neither of you are saying clearly what you want.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to say, to me, you don't want friendships. Like this whole idea of like,
that's stupid.
It's that's your answer. I want to hang with you and date again. I thought we had a great relationship. I'm willing to try and get over the things in the past. I've grown. I don't know if you've grown. I hope you have. But I'd like
Yeah.
to see if we've grown as people to be a better couple now. And that doesn't mean like, hey, try the nachos nearby and maybe I'll have one too. Like, to me, you're wasting your own time because she's never going to give you an answer until she's put to give you one. Like, she's never really been.
And if you want to have a real relationship with this person, because it sounds like neither of you guys are that clear or that communicative. If you want to have a real relationship, you need to discuss the breakup and like what's different and how things have changed. And are you a good match? And I agree, you should date before like being like, okay, we're together. But it doesn't seem like you guys are directly communicating. And the letter is like sort of a half communication because the other person doesn't have to have a back and forth conversation with you. But if you want to have a real relationship that turns into something actually serious, you should learn how to have those conversations with each other.
I would even go through the
Timeline?
the timeline. I'd go through the syllabus you gave us And I would go date by date and write exactly how you felt after each of these instances and then tell them to her. So like, moved to Washington for work and I lose a job. Felt like shit. Came back home. Felt like shit.
You broke up with me.
Broke up with me. Heartbroken. Don't hear from you for a year. Mended my heart. Went on dates. Had good ones. Had bad ones. Went through the whole thing. LinkedIn message with a HBD. What the motherfuck? I would say that's how I felt. And then there are responses to all those. You're allowed to have feelings. I think that's like the one thing where it's like you're allowed
That's the vulnerability part.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the vulnerability. And like you're allowed to have been angry with someone that you love. You're allowed to be upset with someone and let down by someone who can redeem themselves in your eyes. That doesn't mean it's over. It's just, hey, in that moment, this is exactly how I felt. What was the meaning of this? And a letter of like, we could be friends and maybe some more, doesn't really give you answers to that.
Fair.
That's not even, giving your side of the story. So that would be like a good exercise because you've written it so organized that like it's here for you to like
You've already
fill in
have
the
it.
blanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and Rob, I would ask her to clarify one thing because knowing women and how they think and what might be going on here, I'm not saying it is.
Did she fuck another guy? No, I mean,
Well,
who have you fucked?
Almost more to the contrary, I think. I would ask her because I would want to know this if I were you. I would want to say, do you want to be in this relationship again because you want to be in a relationship with me and you miss being with me, or have you not really met anyone and you're feeling kind of lonely? And so I was someone who we got along well enough and maybe you thought it was okay, but you didn't feel like it was strong enough to not break up with me. So I want to because sometimes women do this where they kind of are out there and they're dating and they haven't really met anyone. And, they've been ghosted by new guys and they're like, oh, my ex-boyfriend would never do that. Or he was, maybe I had a better guy back then, but they might just be doing that because they feel lonely and rejected and they know that you like them. So I would just clarify that before getting back together with her because she sounds a little like maybe avoidant, and sometimes people are lonely and they do that. So I would just ask her about that if I were you.
Right. And my plans with her would be way more direct. It wouldn't be, I'll meet you at the concert with a cousin and a friend. It wouldn't be the nachos are pretty good nearby. No, I'm looking to go to drinks with you to discuss what we're doing here. As opposed, because you keep, Jordana's question is completely correct. And that's that's number one on a list of probably 10 other questions that you should be, prepared with for, again, like if I went out with someone that I, like an ex, the first thing was like, what are we doing here?
Yes.
And then the
boyfriend
second,
or fuck off.
Boyfriend.
So that's the
right.
crux,
That's
right?
what it is. And it's like, and then it would also be like, who have you dated? What have you been doing the last year? It wouldn't
Why
be
now?
It would, It wouldn't be like, what are your running splits? So I think, and again, easier said than done. Easier for us to say. Like I can understand it. These are all conversations I avoid myself, but it's just I don't think there's any other way at this point. You've talked about everything but the important shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to have those conversations face to face, not like via certified mail. Whatever you guys are
Via PDF. Rob, what I would do is I'd get my phone out right now and let's text her something.
Do it.
Let's
do
do it right now.
I'm filming on my phone. I mean, can I do both?
Yeah,
Sure.
go for it.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Take off the video. You're fine.
Okay, what are we gonna text this indecisive woman?
She actually just texted me, honestly.
What did she say?
Wow.
She said, "How's the day going? Are you feeling better?" I wasn't feeling well this weekend, but I am feeling
See,
better.
this is
Right.
She's
I'll
keeping
tell
it
you-
up.
I'll tell
She's
you how
keeping
I
the ball
feel.
in the air. Yeah.
Confused.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the message.
To be honest, I've been thinking a lot. I feel quite confused.
Yeah, the dreaded I've been thinking a lot
Yes.
text. I love that.
Yes.
That's gonna put my nachos in jeopardy.
Yeah, you'll get nachos. Don't worry.
I think we should. I think he should say that they should when they meet up this weekend because you have this plan. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I've been feeling confused. You and I keep hanging out but don't talk about the elephant in the room.
There you go.
I'd like to talk about us over the nachos this weekend.
All right. So I said, I've been feeling confused. I feel like we aren't talking about the elephant.
If you need time to convert this to a PDF, we'll wait.
All right. Thank you. Should I put it into a Google slide? Is that better?
That would be funny.
Actually, let's bring her in. Call her now with us on the line.
Oh God, that'd be
I
scary.
mean, that would be fun.
Maybe she can be on the next show.
Yeah, she wants to give
I'd
her.
love
give
to
her-
hear her
If she
side.
wants to give her take, I would love to hear it.
I need a whole thesis statement on HBD.
All right.
But I think you should also go into this knowing what he wants out of it.
Do you want to date her?
Sounds like yes.
I think like I'm open to it.
What
But,
does that
like,
mean?
It means like
Do you want to be her friend?
it means how do I know she's still the same person as she was 2
Of
years
course. This
In
is.
the-
Do you want to go on a first date?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess like
You're not stuck in it. You can break up with her if you go out on 6 dates. We give you permission.
all right, cool. Thank you.
But I'm
So,
saying, like, that's a big part. That would scare me
yeah.
because she came back to you. You have the right.
That's
It's
true.
not like you broke up with her and then went back to her. That would be different. I do believe.
I agree.
So she came back to you. You get to assess it. You've been, snuck up on with these feelings that were gone and you had worked on. So you have the ability to suss
To
them
assess,
out.
yeah. You could be in the assessment period. And I think you should tell her that. I would like to assess. I'd like to start over. See
Right.
if we like each other now.
Yeah, I'd like to date you. These were feelings that I was trying to get over. I'd like to date you and see what this is.
I feel like that's why I've been like distanced with like giving my clear answer because I'm like I don't know and I don't want to be like back right into the feelings of like yeah, we're going to date and then just be like, well, it's the same thing of like me chasing her and like me trying to convince her to stay together.
That's the beauty of experience.
Yeah.
Is now you know what that feels like and you can know whether to end that or not. And that's the beauty of, going, but what you're doing now is not going to get you that answer.
Yeah.
Like you either say to this person, I've been there, I'm done, I'm not looking for a friend, good luck, or hey, I would like to see what this could be and if I feel better in this with you. And
Right.
maybe
But
she doesn't
also,
either. That's
What's
okay too.
changed? I
Yeah.
think that's also something you really need to get down to because I think getting back together with an ex with no discussion and no clear vision of how things are different this time than last time is just repeating a cycle that you've already done. There's no point.
Right.
Yeah. Agree.
Okay.
Rob, do you feel helped? Did she text back?
No, she hasn't texted back.
No. I was like, wow.
Well, please give us the update. We want to know. And listen, if this doesn't work out, please give the audience your Instagram handle so that they can find you.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube. Rob's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
He's he's in a car.
He's
so he's
clearly,
got,
he knows how to commit.
yeah. Are you looking?
He's got
for,
LinkedIn.
Do you want serious, Rob?
That's the goal. That honestly is the goal.
Yeah.
You seem like a relationship guy.
I am. I mean, like, I can't lie. Like, part of like the idea of like doing the marathon would be pretty sick to have somebody at the finish line for me.
Oh my God.
Aw.
Oh my God,
But,
you're gonna
Rob,
get DMs now.
I love the romanticism. Please do not ask anyone else to be your Facebook girlfriend, though. Please.
I was a little,
Stay away from the Facebook.
I was a little disappointed. I didn't win the date with Jared, but you know, we both,
Next time. There's always a next time.
uh,
Well, Rob, we
Yeah.
want updates. We really appreciate you coming on with us.
This
This
was
was like
great.
a lot of fun.
You seem
and,
like a great catch.
yeah,
So if it's not this
absolutely.
girl, it'll be someone else.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Bye. The You Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.